Hello and welcome to my final weekly video news of 2024. You're probably getting this very close to Christmas Eve, maybe on the 23rd, just depends whether we've uploaded it in time. I've put on a sparkly jumper for the occasion and nice dangly earrings. And yeah, very soon I will be off for the Christmas break and back in the new year. We still operate on a skeleton staff. You don't generally get many viewing requests over the Christmas period, and that's an interesting point with the Boxing Day bounce, which is a lot of what people are thinking about and talking about at the moment. The latest issue of the business has come out. Great new shop, actually. Maybugs has opened on Chapel Place. Please support local. Went in there and bought some nice bits. But anyway, on page 58, there's my feature about, do you take your property off the market for Christmas or leave it on? And of course, the Rightmove Boxing Day bounce is something they talk about a lot at the moment. So it's gone up like exponentially over recent years. It's become a real thing that on Boxing Day, Rightmove reports this enormous upsurge in buyer traction, people looking at property. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I totally believe that happens and the increased inquiries do happen. I'm just not sure it's from buyers who are ready to commit. I think it's a lot of research going on, a lot of boredom, having got through the Christmas period, and now what do I do? People obsessed by property. And so, yeah, I'm just not convinced that this is from people who are ready to make a transaction decision, potentially. But yeah, so interestingly, what we see every day, we get alerts of what's going on in the property portals like Rightmove and Zoopla and on the market. And you see a lot of withdrawals at this time of year. People potentially wanting to start that 14-week clock ticking for when they relist. They will re-alert as a new listing and the date will reset. Or I've seen a few properties going to market in this week. So that's really unusual. So those clearly sellers who are keen to meet the Boxing Day bounce. Yeah, will it happen or not? I don't know. In terms of what I think for next year, do look at my vlog that I will be putting out at the beginning of January. I'll give you my thoughts on the property market for next year. But for now, shall we take a look back at what happened in the property market this year? Well, it was a year of highs and lows, I would say. So certainly better than 2023. 2023 was a tough year. Mortgage rates rising, buyers adjusting with that, sellers still sitting on price expectations from the pandemic and the 2022 high of the market, and a complete mismatch from what buyers and sellers wanted to proceed with. So you tended to only sell really, really great properties that ticked every box, or from highly motivated sellers who were realistic on their price, and then you got the deal over the line. For this year, 2024, a little bit of an overhang of that, and properties have either flown off the shelf or stayed on the shelf. So if you've got a great house that really ticks every box of what your buyer wants, so if they're after a family house, they want a nice flat garden, hopefully with a nice orientation south-southwest. They want it near a good school. They want the open plan kitchen diner, a separate sitting room, the strong master with the ensuite, off-road parking. You tick those boxes and it's presented nicely, it will fly off the shelf. Often we went to seal bids on those kind of properties this year. If it ticks all those boxes but not presented so nicely but priced correctly, absolutely fine. The properties that have struggled this year have those been where there's been a big compromise with them, or they've just not been priced realistically. So we've had a good year, I would say, overall, certainly better than 2023. And that has been a long, hard-fought win, though. So lots and lots of review conversations with our sellers, changing things, changing photos, trying to refresh a listing, making lots of call-outs to our buyer book, running social media campaigns, doing as much as we can to really help those buyers and properties match and close a successful deal. Conveyancing still the absolute nightmare. So taking far too long to get to exchange of contracts from agreeing an offer. It's almost like the pandemic lengths of time, which have risen to about 16 weeks on average from get to offer to exchange, have become the norm. And that, I think, is an absolute travesty. The longer that time goes on, there is a much higher chance of a deal collapsing. And that's dreadful for either party. Money is lost, hopes and dreams are shattered. Agents have to pick themselves up and get on with it again. There needs to be something to reduce those transaction volumes to get them to exchange quicker. And that's something that I'm going to be looking at in Madison's next year, of what can we do within our business model. The great thing when you're an independent agent is you can be fleet of foot And when you want to make a change, you can make it quite quickly. So yes, I'm going to be looking at things that we can do to help our buyers and sellers get to exchange of contracts sooner. So watch this space. I will bring you more information on that in due course. Busy throughout the year though, but with some stalls on whether offers were made. So of course we had the election called back in the spring, so that put a real halt to the spring market around May time. And then of course when Labour found that big £20 billion black hole and said the budget was going to sort it all out, everyone got nervous and we stopped closing so many deals. So we're always busy. Our viewings diary is always busy. The phone is always ringing. It's just whether people are transacting or not. So to get to those offers. But what that budget has done has meant that we have had a very, very manic end of the year. So normally market would quiet in sort of mid-November. This year, well, yesterday I agreed 2 deals. I mean, it's utter madness. Anyway, so very, very busy, still dealing with people trying to get their properties ready to go to market early January. We have that stamp duty change coming at the end of March. There'll be lots of buyers keen to meet that. But really, if you're not under offer by now, I would say you've got a very slim chance of doing it unless you've got a really short chain. So you might have nothing to sell. The property you want might have no onward position. You get really great lawyers in there, and there are some phenomenal lawyers in the town who will far beat that 16-week average. You might get your deal through, but you're going to have to be quick about it. So yeah, interesting year. Highs, lows, busy, better than 2023. Good price, well-priced property, well presented has been the star of the show. And next year, all feeling quite good. Prices up about 1.3% overall. But of course, Bank of England did not cut base rate last week. They've held it because inflation rose to 2.6% up from 2.3%. So it's a real balancing act for them. There's a real desire to give a bit of a kick to the property market and get things going again. And cutting base rates always does that because it affects mortgage rates. But they're balancing a fine juggling act of keeping stability in the economy. Lots going on globally that could affect our economy. And yeah, holding a bit of a steady line at the moment, which I think was exactly as I predicted, to be honest. So that's a nice roundup for you, I hope. I hope that's been of interest. There's lots still going on, the build up to Christmas. Mayor's Tory Appeal, we were delighted to support that. Fearless Fox, we supported. It's running till the 29th of September. Do go and watch it. It's a delightful little production. And if you've got nothing else to do, come down and take one of our magazines from our stand outside. You can look at our big reveal window at the same time. A huge thank you to my team at this time of year for everything they've done. Couldn't do it without them. They are brilliant, every single one of them. And I am looking forward to next year. I hope you are too, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.